guys! Alright, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about groceries and grocery shopping, meal planning, and how I basically how I spend $100 or less on groceries for the week, or meals for the week. Really what it comes down to it is that I'm a planner. So I'm someone, I love to plan in groceries, events in my life, clothes I'm gonna wear the next day for work and whatever. I'm a big planner. I just naturally am. So also I have a green smoothie here. I have ice, like 2 cups of spinach, 2 bananas, a tablespoon of peanut butter, and cinnamon. That's what's in here. So let me taste this. That's good. It's got peanut butter, banana, cinnamon smoothie with greens, which I can't really taste the greens. Although I do taste a little bit of the greens just because I put a lot in there. But it's still really good. So yeah, I'm going to be drinking this and talking to you guys. So it's kind of like a mukbang, but it's just drinking a smoothie. I'm not going to tell it a mukbang. But yeah, so anyways, I'm a big planner. So what I do, I'll probably put some screenshots in here. Here, I'll move over to this side of the couch. So here, I'll probably flash some images of how I plan my meals. I have a planner, and one side of, so when you open it up, it has, one side is the week, so Monday through Sunday, and the days and all that, so I can plan other things aside from food. And then the other side of the page, on the right side, is a notes page. And this is where I put all of my meal planning and my grocery list together. So on the top you can see I have dinners, and I put 5 dinners. I always try to aim for 5 dinners unless there's things going on, like we have plans to go out to dinner, or we have a work event, like I have a work event or something like that. Then I usually will only put like 3 or 4, whatever, depending on how many meals we do plan on eating in. That's how many I put. Typically in a week it's 5. So I have my notebook here, so I'm going to be looking down. But so as you can see, I plan to make kimchi fried rice, sinigang, which is a kind of a sour soup. It's a Filipino dish. Kare kare, that's a peanut butter stew, and that's also a Filipino dish. Spinach, as you see, I just have spinach there. That's like sauteed spinach with soy sauce and sugar and gochujang sauce and all this other stuff. I actually have a mukbang on it if you want to see how I make that. I'll link it down below or somewhere in here. And then a Korean stew. And then, I don't know if you can notice, on the right you'll see a slash, and I have burgers, hot dogs, baked ziti, cordon bleu, and tacos. Those are actually for Gary, my boyfriend. He does not eat vegan. He still eats meat and dairy and eggs and all that. And I respect him for it. I have a video about how I live with a non-vegan, and it works out okay for us. So either way, yeah, so I obviously, he's not really big into ethnic food or as much as I am with Asian food and Indian food and Mediterranean and all that other stuff. He's not too big on it, so I usually have to make a separate meal for him. And typically his meals, if I do a complicated meal for myself, I make his meal like very easy, like a pizza, or throw it in just like a frozen pizza, or a burger where I just put it on the grill and then he puts all his toppings on it. Even pasta is pretty easy. Like I just boil the pasta and add sauce. And so the baked ziti was easy. I just boiled the pasta, tossed it in some sauce, put it in a pan, sprinkled cheese on it, and then tossed it in the oven, and then it was done in like 15 minutes. So I try to make things, and then if I make a complicated dinner for him, I will make a really easy dinner for me. So all in all, it probably takes me 30 to 45 minutes to make dinner. And if you want to include making green smoothies for the morning, it's probably like an hour or so. But I love to cook, so that's another thing. If you don't like to cook, this might be a little hard for you to keep it under like $100. Which is kind of funny. You would think if you like to cook, you'd be spending more money on food, but in reality, when you cook for yourself, you're not spending as much as like going out to eat, because then you have to tip, or there's obviously a service fee for them making it for you, so it's inflated and all that. So cooking at home definitely saves money. That's a really good tip. Okay, so then below the dinners, you'll see that I have some of the recipes just listed out horizontally. Kimchi rice, sinigang, kare kare, and so on. And here, I basically look up the recipe, and they're all on Pinterest. And I forgot to note this. Another tip is to have a board on Pinterest for the meals for that week. So I get a lot of my food inspiration, a lot of like 99% of my recipes from Pinterest. And I do have a meals for the week board. It's my first board up top when I log in. And I basically put all the recipes in there that I need to refer to throughout the week when I'm making dinner. This way I'm not searching through all my different boards and all my different pins on where the recipe is. It's all in one board. So I highly recommend doing that for kind of keeping everything organized and all that. And then throughout the week, I'll find pins and I'll just pin it. And then like Friday or Saturday, I'll start making the list and putting things on the meals for the week board and taking the old ones off. So yeah, so basically yes, I go through the recipes and I run down the ingredients and I check to see if I already have it in my kitchen. If I already have it, then I obviously don't need to buy it. And as you can see, there's items on here, there's recipes where I only need like 2 things. 1, 2, 3, 4 of the recipes, I only need 2 items for each recipe. The one that has the most is tacos, and it's all produce, so it's not really expensive. It's tomatoes, red onion, cilantro, lime, and avocado. All of those are less than $1, I believe. The avocado might be the one that was like $1.25, but everything else was less than $1. So that's $6 for a meal right there. And then on the bottom of all that, I have a category called Other, and this is things that don't really technically fit into one of the recipes I'm making, but it's more for like my snacks and breakfast and all that type of stuff. So for breakfast, if you're familiar with my diet or what I eat on a normal day, we do drink a green juice, and it consists of kale, celery, cucumber, ginger, orange, and pineapple. And we do have a juicer, so we juice it all here. So those are all 6 of those items are usually always on my other list. And then I always get spinach. I always get the big package or box container, whatever you want to call it, of organic baby spinach. Bananas all the time just because of smoothies like this. And I do have little cheap, like not cheap foods, but like junk food on here. Chips, I love chips. I don't have a big sweet tooth. I'm much more of a savory, salty type of person. That's what I gravitate for. That's what I usually crave. And so I put that on the list. I almost always, in a week, I will go through a bag of chips, and I'm cool with that. It's all about balance, you know? As you can see, my recipes, it's all made from home, so I can control what fat goes in it, how much oil, if I use oil, I rarely do for my dishes. If there's a lot of sodium in there, I control all of that. So if I want a bag of chips for the week, dang it, I'm getting a bag of chips. So yeah, so chips are on there, and pizza. I always have a frozen pizza for Gary, just because if I don't feel like making an elaborate meal for him, and I have more of a complicated meal that night, I usually could just throw in a pizza and he's happy. So yeah, so I did do, this was my list I worked off of this week. I actually went grocery shopping yesterday, Sunday. This will probably go up on Wednesday though, so a little time traveling here. But either way, the total was $62.73. And that's for 5 dinners. Actually, if you want to consider, that's 10 dinners, because I'm making meals for myself and I'm making a separate dinner or meal for Gary. And then, so yeah, it's 10 dinners, and that's 5 lunches, 4 or 5 lunches, and 5 breakfasts. I mean, that's a lot of food, and that's for 2 people. And I mean, most of you probably have families, or maybe it's just yourself and you're living with your parents still, but it's definitely doable. A lot of people say being vegan is too expensive or it's hard. Really, I spend most of my time in the produce section and very little time in all the other aisles, so everything's right there, and I think it's quite affordable. Obviously, I live a vegan lifestyle. I eat plant-based, and Gary eats meat still, and I buy a few things for him every now and then, and our total is still $62.73. It's under $75 and all that. So you know, it's not that bad. Other things that I do, other tips, this is where people find it really weird that I do this, but I know my grocery store very well, and I know the pattern of the aisles I go through. So I actually then go on my iPhone or my MacBook, it's all linked in my Notes app, and I actually put everything in order of how I would walk through the grocery store. So this way I'm not going back and forth through aisles, being like, oh, I forgot this in that aisle, oh, I gotta go back this way. So it actually saves time. I'm probably in and out of the grocery store in like half an hour, 40 minutes depending if I'm taking my time and just kind of looking through stuff, looking at labels, and I have time to do that. But yeah, I get my groceries done in like 45 minutes, and I spend less than $100 a week for 80% of our meals for the week, and then the other 20% is eating out like on the weekends or something like that. So yeah, and I am someone that likes, when I like my food, I like it, and I don't mind eating it again the same week. So what I usually do for lunch is whatever I had for dinner the night before, I just make a little extra, and then I have the leftovers for lunch the next day at work. So it's been working for me, and actually I feel like I need a bigger lunchbox because I usually put my green juice in there, and a smoothie like this, and I don't know, I just put a lot of stuff in there, and I feel like I've been lately, the past few weeks, it's been really crammed in there, and I feel like I can't bring enough food for myself. So if you know of a really good lunchbox, a nice size, let me know, because I'm on the hunt. But yeah, so I think that covers everything. This was kind of a little all over the place. I apologize. This was kind of just candid, just talking to you guys, going through how I plan my meals, and how, essentially tips on how to spend $100 or less on 2 people for a week. Mind you, this is just for 2 adults. If you have a family, obviously it's going to be a little more. I would estimate each person is probably, if they're eating the same as you, each person is probably just an extra $25 a week. If they're eating, you know, the same food as you are, and you're not having to get other things for them, it could probably be less. Like this I usually, when I go through the grocery store, I line up my produce first just to see how much that was. And when I lined up the produce first, I think it was like $30 for all the produce, and let's say an extra $10 for other things for me. So $40. This probably could have been $40 if Gary didn't eat meat or dairy or eggs, and he followed a plant-based lifestyle. But that's not the case. But imagine, oh my gosh, you'd be saving so much more money. Dang it. Oh well, that's alright. He's definitely reduced his amount of meat and dairy he eats, so I'm happy with that. And maybe one day he'll be vegan or plant-based like me. But alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. If you guys have any other tips or questions, or you want me to elaborate on anything else, let me know in the comments below. Also, I've done a few grocery hauls here on my channel, so if you want to see exactly what I get, and I usually tell you the total as well. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this. I hope you learned something, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!